Hi, everyone. How is everyone? I'm just waiting a minute till some people come on. Hello. Hi, guys. I just thought I would give you a quick update about my most recent sessions because they have been really mind blowing. Oh my gosh. My computer is doing something. What is it doing? And hopefully I did this right. So, hi guys. I just wanted to talk about my most recent sessions. Um, Hi. I just had that mind blowing session with Mateus. Stefano was so amazing, and he was so nice to allow us all to witness his session. He's actually really kind, even in person, which you don't always find people like that. So was Robert Grant. Just such great, amazing people. I feel so blessed. Hi everyone. Where are you guys from? Who from Italy? Wow. From Houston. I just love it. It's like we're all from all over. And we're all just like such a beautiful family. Wow, South Africa, Sweden. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Costa Rica. I was just in Costa Rica. And hi, Denise from Lancaster. That's so awesome. Isn't it great? It's like we're all from all over the place. Australia. Oh my gosh. See, there's so many people that are really like into this stuff, that are working on themselves. And it's funny because, you wouldn't know who is into this stuff. I just wanted to tell you this really funny story. Like, I was just walking down the street, and one of my neighbors, on my street, usually on my street, most people are like older than I am. They're like in their 70s or they're retired, as I live in the Florida Keys. And I was just walking by one of my neighbors, and she goes, "Thank goodness." And I was like, she's 82. She's like, "Thank goodness." And I was like, "Oh, what are you excited about?" She's like, "Thank goodness the new president is going to get rid of all the reptilians." That's what she said. I mean, I'm not political, but I was just like, "Oh my gosh, this is like an 82-year-old woman on my street. Like, who knew? I had just had no idea. There's so many people into so many different things, and it's great that everybody's exploring the things that they're interested in, and more people than you would imagine are into all these like esoteric things, or like my neighbor into that information. So I just thought, wow, like I would never have known. And I thought to myself, wonder if she knows like what I do. Probably not. It's really interesting. So more people are really into all this stuff than people really talk about. The people try to hide it and keep it under wraps, but really, I feel like it's becoming more and more easy to share the stuff that we're all into, to share about how we're working on ourselves and how we want to move forward with this ascension process, because it really seems to be like such a game. The more I dig and the more I find out, it's like all this stuff is just like a holographic design, this game that's not even really real. So that means that anything could be real. And it's really fascinating. So this weekend sessions, I'll tell you a little bit about my most recent sessions. It was really, again, all about working on our belief systems, that we literally could have anything based on our belief system. It's everything that's holding us back is within ourselves. And the theme that kept coming up this week in my sessions was just that any illness and any issue could be healed by softening, by relaxing, which was surprising. And so it kept coming up that we create these issues because of our anxiety. So if we could relax a little bit, we would actually heal ourselves. And I thought that was really, really fascinating. So one of my clients, I asked, well, how does she go about this? Because I know when we were talking before the session, she was telling me she just really couldn't sit still and meditate. And so they told her to go outside and play or bike ride and just focus on relaxing herself and focus on being in the present moment and focus on, having more fun, taking a walk on the beach. They said would really help her. So I found that really interesting. They're not telling her, to meditate every day. They're telling her to go have more fun, basically. And that would really help her heal different things. And my other client this week had severe headaches. So again, that was all about her relaxing. It was about her softening, that her headaches were caused by her jaw was clenching. So because her jaw was clenching so hard, it was all about relaxing her body. That it wasn't so much anything she could do like for the headache. It was all about what she could do to prevent it, to soften more. Found that really interesting. And then some of my clients were having issues with digestion. And usually I've noticed that when a client has an issue with their digestion, it's because they're not digesting life. It's very literal. The body is such a literal messenger. Um, but this time it was more about softening to life, like relaxing a little more, that they were so uptight, they were hyper vigilant, and they were just looking for the next shoe to drop, so to speak. So her higher self said she needed to spend more time really like focusing on her stomach area and just softening, relaxing. So I thought that is really like the theme that kept coming up this week. Another theme that kept coming up was, like usual, reconnecting to nature. Wow, I look super shiny. Well, my skin is like glowing, and it could be sweat. It's kind of hot here actually. But anyway, so it was connecting with nature, and I found it really fascinating that they were asked to connect with honey, and honey keeps coming up in my sessions about how what would happen was they understood, especially even in ancient Egypt and before, they would understand that the bees would kind of like work into this honey ancient information, and you could also tell the future when people would reconnect with honey. And so that's one of the reasons why it was found in some of these tombs, where even in King Tut's tomb they found honey, and some people wonder why. And according to the higher self, it was because within honey contains information. You can actually use honey to tell the future. So there would be oracles that would work directly with honey. And honey was so sacred for many, many different reasons. But one of these reasons was because within honey and ingesting it, or you don't even have to ingest it, but to work with it, to reconnect with it, understanding that there are sacred principles within this liquid, that you could actually tell the future. You could actually find out more about the past and reconnect with yourself in a very sacred way. A lot of my clients have been asked to work with raw honey, really raw honey, because by doing that, they can also heal a lot of things. People who have anemia, the type of anemia where it's actually a clue that they are a reincarnated fairy creature on the planet, have often been told to reconnect with honey, to start ingesting honey, that it can help heal them on many different levels. Okay, so another interesting thing that kept coming up this week in my sessions was how my clients were supposed to investigate any birthmarks that they had, because those also carry clues, in the way that the birthmarks are situated on their body can tell a lot about the energetic imprints that are within their life right now. So they were told to investigate their birthmark and to sit with the energy of the birthmark. So birthmarks apparently carry forth an energetic imprint. They have many different meanings depending on um, what your birthmark means about you, but every birthmark means something. Sometimes a person can have an energetic imprint where that was where they left their life in a past life. Sometimes it can even be where they were branded. Um, Sometimes it's actually a marker that shows up in the current lifetime from whatever extraterrestrial group that they could be a part of. It's really interesting. But the birthmarks themselves carry energy and they carry an imprint. So my client was told to investigate that. Another interesting thing learned this week was about leaves, how leaves can also help you tell the future. I mean, you know, those people that read tea leaves, there's something to that. But what my client was told was to start underneath her tree, the leaves would fall. And her higher self said, collect these leaves and start connecting with the energetic imprint of these leaves, that the leaves contain the blueprint of like the whole cosmos, that there's so much ancient information found in a leaf, and that we just disregard it, but really it holds like a map. And she was told like to collect these leaves and use them like a map and start piecing together certain information for herself. And a couple weeks I was telling you about that amazing client that had that life as an oracle, where she would connect with the tree, where she would put um, her bare back against the tree, because putting your spine against a tree actually has tremendous benefits for us. And who knew this? I didn't know this, but she was told to put, or she in that past life put her bare back against the tree, and she would connect with the tree in a more intimate level, where the tree would start to communicate. Its subtle energies would come through the axis of her spine, and she could then tune into the tree, almost like focusing on the different leaves and the way the wind blew through the leaves. And then by developing this relationship with the tree, she could then read the cosmos. And the oracles in that time would receive their information in this way, and then they would go about telling the community, and then they would know, you know, where to plant what and things like that. And there really does seem to be a resurgence of these ancient ways, because they're coming out of so many people's subconscious, and it really is time for us to reconnect with these ancient ways and these ancient abilities, because our abilities are coming back online in a dramatic way. People are starting to think that they're crazy. I mean, I can't tell you how many clients I have that come in, and the first thing they say to me is like, I think I'm going crazy, because I'm starting to see like what is really all around me, and I'm starting to see things like as if it's a game. Well, it is a game, and these abilities and these feelings are exactly what you are most likely going to notice. And it's not easy. It's not, because maybe the rest of your family thinks you're totally nuts. And maybe, you know, people just don't want to hear it. But look at this beautiful group and this chat. I mean, you know, there's so many like-minded people around. And that's another thing that the higher self has been telling my clients, is to not allow themselves to be too isolated, because it's really easy, especially in the winter, to just feel like you don't want to go anywhere. You're cold and you just want to watch Netflix and you don't want to do anything. But there's a huge healing when you connect with like-minded people. It feels so much better. You feel like your soul is happy again. And it's really important, is what the higher self has been saying, to just whenever you can, even if it's just in your grocery store to connect with another person and say hi, share a smile, that it really does boost your immune system. It boosts everything in your life. And it's amazing for you. But that in person experience is really important. And yeah, it's great to do things online, those are so wonderful too. But to try to connect with people, um, face to face, basically what you are doing is anytime you're looking into someone else's eyes, the light within that person is coming into your eyes. So you're transmitting the blueprint of your soul into their soul. And there's a really special connection that people aren't really aware of. Also, all your energy centers, when you're in front of somebody in person, you are reconnecting on different ways, and actually could even activate someone, um, just by sharing a smile with them. So, um, those are some of the most interesting things. I mean, aside from Matea's session, and um, I wanted to talk about his session really quickly. And I think my computer is like off for some reason. Oh, it wasn't plugged in. Um, I think one of the most beautiful things that I took away from Mateus's session was just how we make everything so complicated. And even I got a message from one of my amazing friends, talking about this, that we make everything so complicated and hard when everything is so, so simple. And my wonderful friend was talking about how she was out in nature and she was connecting with this. She was just looking at a stone and how the water was going over this stone. And she just thought it was so beautiful as she looked at the stone and the water going over it, how it was so uncomplicated, how we don't have to be so complicated. We make everything so complicated by what we make everything mean, but really we are part of this experiment. We can just be. We are divine, and we are like absolutely perfect in our existence. So I thought it was just really beautiful how Mateus just really brought it back to like the basics. This is really, um, what it's all about is getting back to simplicity. We just make it so difficult. So, anyway, just wanted to give you a heads up on these recent sessions. Oh, incarnating as an animal. Yeah, I found that really fascinating too. And I think what is really interesting is there I've never come across this. So, if any other practitioners, let me know. But there does not seem to be any rules to consciousness. This is just my opinion. In my opinion, what I have seen is that there aren't really any rules. That your consciousness, and how my clients often explain, is as they leave their body, from a life, they can feel their consciousness kind of like absorbing into the all, you know. And then they do experience after they like come out and they kind of like expand. They really, we are so expansive, but we are pretending to be so small. But after they feel this expansion, then they do often talk about going to a life review, having these types of experiences, and then planning their other lives. But that is not like a rule or a law or something that all souls go by. So I've noticed that there are no rules with consciousness. The consciousness, we are all part of consciousness. So a person could investigate their consciousness and find like an aspect of their consciousness that had a lifetime as an eagle. I totally think, in my opinion, that that is possible because, like I said, I have never found actual rules when it comes to consciousness or the true nature of our reality. It really more comes down to our different levels of our soul and the different beliefs, in a sense, of our consciousness, so to speak. So you're from Key West? Oh, hey, that's so cool. Yes, I love that. Masters of Limitations. Uh didn't Bashar says that. Yes. Yes. I love cats. I love that you said your cat had a past life in the Holocaust. I think cats are so fascinating because I never knew that people um, used cats as messengers, and then oracles or people that would be able to tell the future too could use a cat's eye that, like scrying into like a crystal ball. You can use the cat's eye to actually find out so many different things. And also, the color of your animal's eyes also means something. And what type of cat or what type of dog you have also means something. And so yeah, I think, and I see your comment. Yes, that Dolores says you can't. Well, maybe that's correct. Maybe you can't incarnate as an animal. It's just don't know, because in my um, experience, I've had other clients that remember, like even being like another eagle, or remembering a consciousness of an eagle. I've had clients remember. A life as a dragon. And so that seems to be very animalistic. Or clients remembering being an extraterrestrial in very good detail, or even uh, being, uh, all kinds of different animals. But I think most of the time, the soul probably wouldn't choose to come into or have a focused incarnation as an animal, just because maybe they they wouldn't have enough soul growth in that way, possibly. But I really don't know. So what I've seen is that every realm or every group seems to have their own other side. So when you pass from this lifetime, if you usually spend, not if you're extraterrestrial and you know it, and you're just here volunteering, but if you usually spend a lot of time on the earth plane, when you pass over, you usually go to the other side of earth, which is like a replica. My clients always describe it like a replica of earth. Just everything is vibrant and beautiful, and it's like everything looks clean and everything. And you can do whatever you want there. People still eat there. People have houses. It's really interesting. People can do whatever they want there. It's just there's no limitation there. There's no you know uh, um, no building. Even you can just think it. That's essentially what we're doing in our 3D reality, but we have so many limitations that we place on ourselves that it takes us so much longer to create what it is that we're doing. And but we could do that if we could believe it well enough. And that's why on these other dimensions and other planes, we can basically, you know um, create whatever we want very quickly. And it is really interesting how we're on this pathway. So, anyway, guys, I just wanted to say hello and send you all my love and tell you my most recent session. So, I hope you guys are well, and I will talk soon. Bye. Much love.